everyone, Miss GoElectric here. Now, I've reviewed a lot of folding e-bikes, and I am constantly getting viewers or people that buy them asking for options that are lighter, more comfortable, more affordable, and more stylish. And usually you can get maybe 2 of those on that list. It's really hard to find something that is an all-in-one. But today, I'm testing out the Tezeus Swift, and it seems like this might be the answer. So first I'm going to talk about the features and specifications, and then I'm going to take it out on the bike path here around downtown Chattanooga. And finally, I'm going to share the pros and cons about this folding e-bike. The Tezeus Swift is a Class 2 e-bike, which means it delivers pedal assistance or throttle assistance at speeds up to 20 miles per hour. This is the rear hub motor, which can deliver 250 watts of power and 30 newton meters of torque. Assistance sensing is accomplished with both a torque and cadence sensor to deliver a smooth ride. The seat post integrated battery with a locking clamp operates at 36 volts with a capacity of 7 amp hours. That is equivalent to 252 watt hours. The battery is easily removable and can be charged on or off the bike. The Swift comes with a 2 amp charger, which should charge the bike from empty to full in about 3 hours. Tezeus says this combination can deliver a range of up to 37 miles. The Swift comes in a lightweight carbon fiber frame with 2 color options, including orange or blue like the one I have here. There is one frame size which Tezeus says can accommodate riders between 4 foot 11 inches and 6 foot 5 inches. The bike is exceptionally lightweight, just 36.2 pounds including the battery, and can support a total maximum payload capacity of 220 pounds. The bike folds down easily and compactly and includes magnets on the axles to keep it from unfolding. It lacks any kind of center stand, which means the chainring is exposed and subjected to the weight and surface hazards when folded. These are Shimano hydraulic brakes with 160mm rotors. The 7-speed trigger shifter and entry-level tourney derailleur are made by Shimano. The front fork is rigid and made of carbon fiber like the frame. The Swift has a rear air suspension as well. The travel is not advertised but appears to be about 30mm. The Kenda tires are 20 inches in diameter and 1.95 inches wide. The Swift has a full color display built into the handlebars, but it does not have a USB port to be able to charge a device like a phone from the bike's battery. The integrated LED headlamp, fenders, bell, and kickstand are all standard. Tezeus offers a 2-year warranty. The company has just one advertised location for service and retail in the United States at the time of publishing. So I just checked the website, and this is on sale right now for about $1,200, and this seems like a very good deal for that price, but we have to see how it rides. So let's take it out on the path. Now this here is my Unit 1 neon helmet, and it is one of my favorite helmets that I have, and there's a lot of reasons why, and it's because it has a lot of different features. When paired with the optional Unit 1 handlebar remote, this integrated 180-degree rear light bar also functions as turn signals and automatic brake lights, which brightens upon deceleration. My favorite feature is the crash detection system. Sensors in the helmet communicate with the Unit 1 mobile app to send an SOS message to your emergency contact if you crash and are unresponsive to a safety check. The embedded safety ID chip can provide one-tap contact information or medical information to first responders, or if the helmet is lost. The electronics are IPX6 water resistant, and the battery delivers up to 30 hours of operation. Every part of the helmet can be replaced individually, extending its lifespan indefinitely. The helmet has a magnetic brim which accommodates a variety of optional magnetic lenses. This helmet weighs as little as 400 grams, and this version has several safety certifications including MIPS and NT8776, indicating protection at speeds up to 28 miles per hour. Plus, I think Unit 1 helmets, backpacks, and other accessories look awesome. Alright, so if you want to learn more about this Unit 1 neon helmet, then I'll put a discount link down in the description below, and I'll also include that discount code. But let's get to riding. All right, so we're gonna start off this review with no assistance. This is such a lightweight bike. It's about 36 pounds, even with the battery installed. This one's gonna be wonderful to pedal when you run out of battery. Shifting is smooth enough out of the box.
Pretty basic Shimano tourney, so can't complain too much about that. All right, let's move up into the first pedal assist mode. Oh, this battery is very small. It is only about 250 watt hours, so a lot of times they don't have a throttle because they don't want you to expend the energy so fast, but sometimes it's just nice to be able to give yourself a little extra boost, especially if you're, you know, on a really hilly, in a really hilly environment. So, but this first pedal assistance mode is extremely mild. It's barely even noticeable. The power kicked on immediately when I pushed down on the pedals, so smooth engagement. I like to see that. I'm gonna bump up into the second mode. Not much more power from that first mode, but this is actually probably what I would ride around a lot with. But it's definitely handling the cracks on the sidewalk real nice. And now typically you could achieve a smooth ride with a bike like this with the suspension seat post, but considering the batteries in the seat post, that's not really an option. And so I kind of like how they've gone with this solution. With a 7-speed shifter, sometimes that's not enough. Right now it feels comfortable going about 15 with my second assistance mode, but I'm just gonna bump it up a little bit more here and see how it feels with this third assistance. It is virtually silent. I'm going uphill a little bit, and in this third pedal assistance in that top gear, feels very comfortable. And drop down a little bit. I do like that this bike has, you know, name brand battery, a name brand shifter, name brand brakes. I'm gonna bump up into the top level of the pedal assistance. It seems that the pedal assistance is very balanced between 1 through 5. I like the fact that they have included this paddle shape for riders like me who are taller, that are kind of sitting up a little bit higher, have to reach down to get to the handlebars, because it makes it a lot more comfortable to have that extra cushion right on the pads of my hands while I'm riding. I'm gonna test out the brakes here. Woo, yes, really nice. I'm gonna do a throttle test here real quick. So 3, 2, 1. Very slow. Very slow to get up to speed. And it's saying that I'm hitting 20 miles per hour right about now. All right. And I can feel once you hit that 20, it definitely cuts off the motor. One thing I like about this throttle is that it has this little rubber piece on the end of it, and that just makes it a lot easier to hold it down. I like the screen too. It is really small, but I do appreciate how it's integrated into the handlebars, but it's very legible. The text is huge for how fast you're going, which is obviously the most important thing, but then it also has a big battery icon to let you know what your state of charge is. I guess the only thing that I would really like to see is like projected range figures. A lot of brands are doing that now, where once you switch out into the different pedal assist modes, it'll tell you how much range you have left. And I think with a bike like this, it would totally benefit from having that kind of information on this display. It would be very helpful. Another thing that I would like to see is a USB port, because this handlebar setup has a lot of space here, so I could put a mount for my phone. And if I could plug it in to the bike's battery, I know it's a small battery, but that'd be cool too. Well, let's head back and I'm gonna share my final thoughts on the Tezeus Swift. So first we're gonna get into the opportunities for improvement that I see, and then I'm gonna talk about the positives. The first opportunity for improvement that I see here though is the fact that this has an entry-level derailleur. It is a Shimano Tourney, and that's fine, but it doesn't have any protection around it like a derailleur guard. So if you are gonna be using this bike as it's designed to be used, like folding it up or putting it in the back of your car constantly, then you are frequently going to need to readjust that in order to get a smooth shifting experience. The next opportunity for improvement has to be service. There are some components on here that are name brand that you'd be able to take into a bike shop to get replaced, like the Shimano hydraulic disc brakes or the shifting system, but the motor on this and the controller on this look to be proprietary. So if you do need any kind of service on those components, then it might be a little bit more challenging, because I saw that they only have one service location in the country, and that's in California. Other folding bikes that I've reviewed have thousands or at least hundreds of locations to choose from for your service needs. The next opportunity for improvement has to be the battery. The first thing is that it itself is not UL certified. I do like the fact that it is brand name. It's an LG battery, but the certification is really important nowadays because it provides peace of mind for fire safety. Secondarily, this battery is really small, actually probably the smallest that you'll get, and the smallest that I have reviewed so far. So that means you're not going to be able to go long distances with this. And although this has a throttle, which is nice, if you use that, I would probably expect to get maybe like 10 miles of range if you're using that for your whole trip. And that's a big drop from the 37 miles that they advertise if you're using pedal assistance and you're in optimal conditions. Another opportunity for improvement regarding the battery is the way that it plugs in on the underside of the seat post. It's really hard to not only get under there and get your fingers on the latch to be able to pull it out, but you do need quite a bit of force in order to do that. And that experience is really frustrating for me to try to unplug the battery. But now it's time to move into the positives, and we're gonna stay on the battery here because there are some positive aspects as well. The first positive aspect about this battery is that it has this locking mechanism here on the seat post, and I think this is a very clever design. I've actually never seen anything like it before, but it's very simple and it works really well. On top of that, the battery is easily removable once you unplug it, and you can bring it inside not only to charge it, but to protect it from getting stolen. And the bike itself is then kind of protected from being stolen because there's no place for someone to sit and ride off on this bike. Another positive characteristic of this bike is that it is very lightweight. It's almost as light as it's going to get if you have a multi-speed shifter like this. And when you pull the battery out, it makes it much lighter than what they advertise. So you can fold this down, get it really compact, and it's much easier to maneuver. Another positive thing about this bike is that it has a rear suspension, and this is an air suspension, so I can add a little bit more air to make it more firm. And I'm about 145, 150 pounds, and out of the box it was a little loose for me. I was bouncing around a little bit, so I definitely am gonna add a little bit of air to it, but I like the fact that it makes it a much more comfortable riding experience. Other folders in this category don't have a throttle, so I like to see that they've included one here. So just in case you get in a pinch and you just kind of want to boost your way out, you have the opportunity to do that. And I also like the fact that they've included fenders on this and a front integrated light. Now they do not have a rear integrated light, and I would really like to see that. But on the back of the seat post, at least you have a reflector. One of the things that I liked most about this bike was that it is so quiet. It is virtually silent, and I really like that out of an e-bike, so this is probably one of the quietest that I have ridden. I personally thought that the power was plenty for this, and the delivery of that power was pretty smooth. Now the throttle was extremely gradual to get up to speed, but I also find that great for safety reasons. And of course, with a small battery, you need this bike to be very efficient, so a slow ramp with the throttle is nice. In conclusion, I think that this is a great bike, especially for the sale price that I saw it at, about $1,200. But if you want to learn more about it, I'll put a discount link down below in the description along with a coupon code if we have one. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.